All right. So before I start, if it looks a little green, that's because I have a green light up top. It doesn't look as green because I have a regular lamp to the right of me on right now. But anyway, how to stop from relapsing as far as no fap goes. I want to more so make this about no fap overall because I think it's a probably a better conscious decision that if you choose to ejaculate, you completed a part of your mission, which means that you found a woman. You know, that's a big part of why we be on this journey anyway, so we don't cut corners. You don't want to just cut corners. At any given moment, you could just take care of the work and you convince your mind that all is done, all is well. Get you nice and lazy and complacent and things like that. More lenient towards just actually having sex with a woman than you earned it. Your confidence is up. You feel like the man, whatever it is. Um, but if you don't want to relapse at all, altogether, whether if, by way of masturbation or having sex, I'll try to cover as much as I can if I remember. That's my problem. I always forget things, and I have to double back and make other videos. So let's just start focusing on like the masturbation aspect. So first of all, don't touch yourself. Don't touch yourself. Um, don't watch porn. Those are the simple things. Get rid of anything that would make you want to jerk off anyway. So if that means stay off Instagram, then stay off Instagram. I think that's a big part of it. Actually, you just stay off Instagram. Stay busy. Always get your hands doing other things. Work out. If you feel horny and stuff like that, you just do some creating, do something creative of the art form, or yeah, like I said, work out. I've been working out pretty much every day lately, so I like to keep the streak going and just embrace the masculine energy. Also, and I'm kind of out of place. Maybe I should have wrote this down, but you got to remember why you're doing this. All right, we're not doing this for bragging rights, like I say before. We're not doing this for placebo purposes. I've been on both sides of the fence. I can tell you that I am a different person on semen retention than I am off semen retention. When I'm on semen retention, I'm more confident. I have more energy. I have more willpower. Less doubtful. I'm able to just just feel less anxious. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the list is long. And when I'm off, it's the complete opposite. And I don't know. I guess I tend to hate myself a little more. You know what I mean? I be thinking about just having a sense of regret. Like, damn, I could have spent my time doing something else, or I don't feel any energy to do anything, so I'm just gonna lie in bed. So back to what I was saying about staying busy. You know, just get up out of bed. Get up out of bed. Anything that you use to masturbate, you keep it away from you. As far as like, I don't know, if you use lube or whatever, just get rid of the lube. If you use lotion, put the lotion in a place where you would have to stand up to get it, or simply put, of course you could take cold showers, but it kind of actually makes you more fertile. But I like taking cold showers anyway because it just boosts your testosterone and lowers blood pressure, burns body fat, all the good things that come with that. Great for muscle recovery. So let me see. Let me try to think of anything. Um, and for some of my more dangerous people who have more discipline over it, but you still want to feel some pleasure, I had put out a video about the edging technique. Definitely not for everybody. See how I was just talking about like eliminating masturbation, and now I'm talking about edging. If you're someone who does have a great level of discipline, you probably wouldn't be watching this video, but I still do actually believe in the edging technique. Uh, you know, obviously that's putting all the temptation in your hands. No pun intended. Uh, but I do like the quick burst that it does give me if I feel tired, if I feel a little stagnant, a little groggy, a little lackadaisical. Also, because I said I was going to talk about people who still have sex, you use the edging technique when you have sex. You get to the point of ejaculation right there, and then you stop. Why would you do something like this? Well, some people may be in relationships, and you don't just take sex off the table completely. You know, I mean, if you choose to, fine, but then you have to deal with the consequences of that, whatever it may be. But I found that when I was practicing semen retention for over a year straight, like the streak was for over a year, that I was still having a lot of sex, and I found that it was still very much enjoyable, and I felt like the man. I felt like my experience was better because I could have sex multiple times a day, and it wasn't a matter of I needed to recharge. Not at all, you know. And so you get a similar confidence boost. It's like I'm the man. Today I'm doing my thing, you know. Whereas a woman be ready for round two, and you gotta get it back up. They get a little scared of you when you're talking about round three and round four. So I always thought that that was pretty amusing. Of course, you're gonna get the confidence boost. You get the beat the high scores. Beat your high score, beat the high score of people who came before you, and put your name at the top of the list. Put your initials up there. Nah, man, it's just great fun, and you do it for just the experience of it all, and this is very animalistic, and it's natural, and it's just a pleasurable experience. You can still do that, but if you don't have the discipline to do that, and you want to practice semen retention, then you're gonna have to make a decision. You're gonna be abstinent. You obviously can't, do the. You gotta take the masturbation to edging technique off the table as well. So you're really gonna have to make that decision. Or are you just gonna take the path of no fab? You say, well, I won't masturbate at all, and if I do ejaculate, it'll be by way of sex, or I guess wet dreams, which, to my knowledge, I don't think I've ever had one as an adult or as a practitioner of semen retention. Maybe it happened to me when I was a teenager. I can't recall. So yeah, always understand why you're doing this. Understand the dichotomy of on and off. You really want to pay attention to who you are when you're on, who you are when you are off. If it's something that I realized from times where I guess I relapsed, um, is that I realized that there was a certain energy that, because I channeled it for so long when I was on semen retention, that I was able to tap into um, post ejaculation. Now, that wasn't enough for me to just say, okay, I'm going to keep ejaculating, but it was very interesting to see how certain things did carry over. So, if one of my selling points, the reason why I do semen retention is because it helps me stay in my masculine frame, that's not always a good selling point, because there are a lot of men who ejaculate often who are able to hold a masculine frame. All right, they didn't necessarily need the boost, and it's all about like your demeanor, your mentality, uh, you know, um, just your upbringing. I didn't have the type of upbringing that encouraged me holding a masculine frame. I wasn't raised by men. I never had a father figure, as I've mentioned many times. So I was kind of more of the feminine, the Epicurean, the um, seeking pleasure type of person. So, and over time, I had to learn how to get into my masculine frame just because circumstances called for it. Like I had to man up, I had to be a father. I didn't like how my interactions with women were. I thought that I had to match their energy. I was completely wrong. I had to solidify the masculine energy to get the feminine women that I really wanted. So it's interesting to see who you become when you hold a certain energy, especially because a great deal of my life, I was probably mostly feminine. And it's not that I would do girly things. It's not like I would wear dresses or play with Barbie dolls and nothing like that. I would just be I'd just be an emotional person. Not probably not outwardly, but probably like internally, you know. And I did have a lot of anger. But yeah, I would just do regular boy things, play with cars, play basketball, play video games, all those things. But probably didn't have like a masculine approach to it. Naturally, that would lead me to art and things like that, which is cool. So I still get to tap into that. But I had to balance it out with the masculine energy that was needed to lead the type of life that I want to lead. I know what type of women that I would like to attract. In order to do that, I had to become a certain type of man, you know. And I just like the output all together. My ability to kind of like bootstrap, and suck it up, pause, and just go about what I need to go about. Take my emotions out of it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with emotions, but you get overly emotional. You make too many emotional decisions. It does not help your cause. So I do uh, semen retention for utility purposes. All right. So always keep note of when you are at your best. If you are at your best on semen retention, then by all means keep up with it, because chances are you probably aren't making a baby right now. All right. If you're looking to make a baby, then that makes sense. We weren't meant to be ejaculating all the fucking time. You know, it's our life force, and I believe that increases our aging. But how much, I don't know. All I know is that if I jerk off once or twice a day, I ejaculate twice a day, it's gonna take me some time to recover. Like physically. Like I'm probably gonna feel sluggish for the next 2-3 days. And so I could see how that would take away your life force if you just keep doing it over and over and over again in a hypersexual world. It's like if your body has to keep recovering from something, it's like it's going to wear out faster. That makes sense to me. Your body will it will take longer to recover, or have to keep recovering from something, as opposed to giving your body one less thing to recover on, and then it focuses on other things. You know, like healing your body when you work out. I guess when your testosterone levels increase, that it speeds up muscle recovery. So that makes perfect sense to me. And also, you're keeping all the nutrients in your body, you're keeping it recycled. You're not constantly just letting out fluid like that. It allows for you to recover faster. It slows down your aging. And testosterone is anti-aging anyway. I'm not sure how I look, but I don't remember 30-year-olds looking like this when I was younger. I see a lot of people my age, they don't look like me. People get my age wrong. And I'd be very interested to see a couple things. So I'll be very interested to see what I look like when I'm like 50 or somewhere close to 70. What I'll look like, because I have a feeling that I'm probably going to look a lot like I do now, just very young in the face, and maybe I have some gray hairs because I already got some coming. But I'll also be interested in seeing if my libido will slow down um, in spite of me uh, practicing semen retention. So I wonder if I will have a high sex drive if I stay on the retention. Be very interested to see how that works out. Obviously, I'm going to keep doing things to keep me healthy. I'm going to keep working out. I'll eat cleaner, especially as I start to age. Do other things, intermittent fasting and what have you. But it would be very interesting to see what's to come of this, because I can kind of already foresee that amongst my peers, I'll have more vitality. Which is also interesting because I like to say, I don't really have no way of knowing what it is for others, but I like to say to myself that my inner child, I always kept my inner child alive. Sometimes I put it on the back burner, put him on the back burner, but my inner child is alive and well. So I have this youthful spirit about me, you know. When I'm playing with my daughter and she's hopping and she says she a rabbit, then I hop with her. I'm glad that I'm able to do that, and I hope that I'm able to do things like that with my children, my grandchildren, and just kind of don't even miss a beat. And it's not all that far fetched because I like to go on YouTube. I went on YouTube recently and I look at like people in their 70s, 80s, 90s, and they still physically fit and they still moving, they still sharp. So I think that was very encouraging because a lot of us we worry about getting older, and I think that getting older is harder if we drop a lot of our habits that keep us healthy in the first place. All right, and so semen retention is at the forefront of that for me. I think it's just a great practice. So to wrap this up, if you want to stop yourself from relapsing, you got to remember why you're doing this. You got to remember who you are on both ends of the spectrum. You have to stay busy, give yourself a lot to do. Um, Always replace idle time with something more productive. All right, just don't touch yourself if you can't take it. Don't touch yourself. Uh, and get rid of the temptation. Get rid of the temptation. Stop the scrolling on Instagram. I got rid of the Instagram app once again. Um, and it's much easier if I just go on the browser. But even still, it's like when I go to do things, I just ask myself, is it even worth my time right now? With the way things are set up right now, these high ass gas prices, can I really afford to just be giving away some of my utility and some of my attention and some of my time, to something that's not all that rewarding? You know, a woman uploads a picture, sexy picture or whatever, she would never DM you back, never respond to you. She wants all your attention, all your energy, all your thirst. That boosts her ego. She don't have to have sex ever. The ego boost that she get is great enough. And you dump out your fluids, or we, because I've been there many times, probably more than you. We dump out our fluids to the thought of a goddamn woman, to a synthetic woman. She doesn't really exist. I mean, she exists somewhere in the world, but she doesn't exist because it's a fucking screen. You can't really tap that ass. You can't really fuck her. You can't really get head from her. Just give yourself the illusion that it's happening. Is it really worth it to you? And if no, then this is the path for you. All right, there we go.